All right, thank you. Right. So let me just start my presentation now. All right. So I want to start with an interesting fact. I hope you can hear me. At any point in time that you can't hear me because I'm on my presentation slide, I can't see the call. You just unmute your mic and just let me know that you can't hear me because if you put it on the chat, I may not see it. Okay. All right. If you put it on the chat, I may not see it. All right. So I was talking about an interesting fact. Most relationship issues, most relationship issues, whether it be dating, courtship, and even marriages, face stress, struggles, and short-term durations due to poor financial management. I put it in the community before. Research reveals that among the top reasons that is responsible for divorce among married couples or issues in marriage, finances, money, they are among the top most things that cause financial issues and stress. So either one of the partner is an overspender, does not understand what it means to budget or set priorities, save, and even invest. All right. So the inability to understand and navigate the various financial products is what makes all the difference. So, love is such an emotional thing. And most times, especially for single people, they don't pay attention to um they don't pay attention to what's going on. Okay. It's just a minute, please. All right, I'm back now. I'm sorry, I'm just having serious power issues, so it's really affecting my presentation. All right, I'll just try and flow. Apologies, I can't put my video on because where I am is very, very, very dark. Okay, so while they are working on the power, I'll just continue. Let me just take a moment again to just stop. Just be sure. Can you hear me? Can you hear me very well? Can just put on the chat box if you can hear me. Can you hear me, please? Okay, you can hear me. All right. Oh, good, 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 good. All right. So I'll just proceed. So, like I was sharing just now, I said one of the major reasons why most relationships collapse. By relationship, I mean um, romantic relationships, marital relationships, relationships that involves two people get to spend their lives together, whether it be dating or they are courting or they're eventually married. Research reveals that the major reason why such relationships don't last long is because of poor financial management. I want to talk about financial management. It's a whole range of it's not necessarily whether one partner understands how to invest or the other partner does not. It's all about your ability for you to really understand money itself. Okay. So sometimes there are some underlying issues. When you are dating, there's that emotional rush. You don't pay attention to some certain things. So you have to begin to pay attention to stuff like first at the basics. How does this person spend money? All right. Does he have the priority of savings or investments? Does he budget? All right. So sometimes these conflicts at the end of the day, they put most relationship in stress. At the end of the day, they can't move forward. So the goal of today's masterclass is just to shine light on enlightening every one of us here on first understanding how asset classes work. All right, I talk about asset classes, so how they work. We're also going to learn about fractional investing, just in the brevity of time that we have, and of course, how to take action as a consistent investor. So the goal of tonight's masterclass is to let you understand that, like they say, it is finance that makes the romance sweet. And when there is no money, it's going to cost a lot because you need money for everything. As you're building a family, you need money to first of all be able to maintain the home, talk about feeding, talk about the children when they come in, and many other aspects of the home and the family. So for the relationship to be well greased and oiled and move to the, as they will say, to the right direction, there needs to be a proper understanding about money. So I know some of you maybe, yeah, your interest is not necessarily relationship or anything, but you just want to learn. But what I'm saying, whatever be your interest tonight, we're going to touch on something that's going to be very significant to you, at least understanding money as it were. All right, how it comes, how you grow your wealth, how you preserve your wealth through investment. Okay. All right, so I would now start with just an introduction of who I am. I know many persons here. You just meeting me for the first time. This is the first time you'll be hearing me present to you because it's good that a speaker introduces himself so that you really know who is talking to you. Not just a wannabe or somebody that's aspiring to be something, but it's just good you know who is talking to you. So my name is Adam Susaremida. I'm a man with many hats. I'm a lot of things to different people based on the tasks you see me carrying out. But for the sake of this community, take me as your convener. I'm a graduate of the University of Benin, where I studied civil engineering, as Jimovia and our current CBN governor, Cardozo, did. All right, so there's this relationship between engineering and finance. Most of the people that are doing very well in the world of finance, they have very strong, solid tie with engineering. Even the richest man currently in the world, Elon Musk, is also an engineer himself, but it has something to do with finance. So I don't know what the relationship is, but well, that's where we found ourselves. But I think because of the technicality of engineering, it's very easy for engineers to flow in finance because finance is also very technical too. I'm a graduate of JBS Lagos and the Techidia Business Institute, Boston, USA. I began my career about a decade ago as an agent banker for First Bank and Zenith Bank. From there on, I grew in other areas of finance, such as retail banking, insurance, investment banking, asset management. All right. So why should you listen to me? I currently serve as the business manager of Metroland Finance, a financial institution focused on retail banking for small and medium enterprises, and I'm a certified financial coach by the Central Bank of Nigeria. For about a decade, I've dedicated a great portion of my work towards financial literacy, educating thousands both on site and online on how they can utilize their financial resources for maximum productivity. I've had the opportunity of working for big organizations, government and developmental organizations to execute financial literacy. So it's my earnest desire that your desired financial dream would surely come to pass. And I welcome you to the Sabi Investors community. Okay. So let me run along with what I have today. So we're just going to touch on assets and liabilities. All right. So we're going to touch on assets and liabilities, then just do a few thoughts. So like I said, at the end of this presentation, I'll give you opportunity to ask questions. I just want you to be focused on what we are doing. Just look at if you can see my screen, my presentation. Also, I think I should ask that question. Beyond hearing my voice, if you can see my screen, like you can see what I'm presenting on my screen, can you please just let me know either with an emoji or with chat on the box? Okay, thank you. I'm seeing some thumbs up. That means some persons can see my screen. All right. I know some persons will be joining over, so they'll just join anywhere to see us presenting. All right. So I started first with talking about relationships, whether it be dating, courting, or marriage, marital relationships. We began by saying that the major reason why there's stress, all right, there's struggle, is because a lot of persons do not really understand how money works. People date themselves, people are together with themselves, but they don't know how money works. And like we said before, research says that like not the number one, is number two. The number one is trust issue. Maybe a partner does not trust the other partner. But after that, the foremost thing that makes people break up or makes people end even a married relationship is due to poor financial management or poor financial alignment. So if you're on this call, if you're married, I would encourage you to tell your wife to listen to this. If you're in a relationship, I'll encourage you to tell your fiance or your fiance to be part of this, because it's good that we are learning together. All right. So I'm going to be touching a lot of very significant things. All right. Very, very significant. All right. So we're going to start first today's conversation. We're talking about assets and liabilities. Some of you may have heard some of the concepts that we're sharing today, but just follow what I'm sharing. It's not just enough to know, it's enough for you to be able to apply this thing and it's able to impact on your finance. All right. So, but understanding the difference between an asset and a liability is one of the foundational knowledge everybody needs to have about finances. Okay. So you must have heard before, assets are things that you own that put money in your pocket or have the ability to make you money. While liabilities are things that you owe, that take money away from you, all right? Or things that you have that take money away from you. So an asset helps you to earn income, all right? An asset is something that helps your income to grow in value. An asset is something that makes you to save money, enable you to save money. And an asset is anything that enables you to be able to generate some future benefits, all right? Okay. While a liability, on the other hand, is something, okay, that takes money from you to maintain or preserve, all right, its value. Let's say a bank loan. This is very debatable. Your personal car, your personal house, all right? Your personal car and your personal house. The reason why they call it a liability is because if you have a personal car that you're not using to generate money, say you're not using your car for Uber or Bolt or anything, the thing is that that car at that point is a liability. It's a liability in terms of monetary value that is taking money away from your pocket. You have to buy it for you have to service the car, you have to do that. So I'm not saying do you have to throw your car away or do you have to stop using a car? No. Understanding assets and liabilities enables you to be able to balance your finances very well. So you now understand what are the things I have, what are the things I do that generate funds. All right. Well, what are the things I have and what are the things I do that takes money away from me? At the end of the day, your assets should be more than your liability. So what is bringing money to you should be more than what is taking money away. This is foundational to any kind of money knowledge you would ever need to have. This is very foundational. Understanding the difference between assets and liability. And that's why sometimes we meet some financial planners. The first thing they will tell you is list all the assets you have, okay, and list all the things that represents liabilities. All right. Okay, so when you talk about assets, let me just touch on something. Okay, your job. All right. If you're in this place, you need to have a primary source of income. Investing, which I will touch on later, is not a primary source of income. All right. Some passive investing, they are not a primary source. A primary source of income refers to the thing that you do that you're actively engaged in that brings in income. That's the primary source of income. So your job, so for instance, whether you're working for someone or you are self-employed, whatever it is, anything that brings money to you primarily, okay, that's the primary source of income, the business you do. Then also, assets and investments you make. This could be active or passive investment, like I was trying to talk just now. It could be stocks you own or real estate or, all right, other things that you do. Then the skill you have is an asset, something that you have that some people, they are good in coding, they are good in developing. They're just some skill, whether it's hand skill, some of our Nigerians in diaspora. Surprising, those are fashion designers, those are hairstylists or whatever. They're making a lot of money aside some of the jobs that they have to also do there in the UK. So that's a skill. That's an asset. So liabilities are things that you owe, the things that you have that are taking money away from you. Although accounting will say asset is something you own, liability is something you owe, but just understand for the context of what we are sharing. And for some people that may not be very technically inclined when it comes to this accounting terminologies, an asset is anything you have that brings money to your pocket. A liability is anything you have that takes money away from your pocket. There are some certain things you cannot do without in life, all right? But you must just understand that this thing, does it bring, some people's phone is an asset, some people, the phone is a liability. Because the thing is taking things away from you, taking money away from you. You spend time servicing it. And at the end of the day, comparing it to what brings money is a drainer. For some people, their phone is an asset. All right. So understand assets and liabilities. Very, very, very fundamental. Okay. Very fundamental. So those types of assets, I'm just doing some little presentations. That's where I want to go to. And I want to give room for questions. Ask as many questions you want to ask as it relates to finance. So, but understand assets and liabilities. That's what I'm doing now. So financial assets, these are financial assets are stocks, that shares you buy in companies, bonds, mutual funds, fixed deposits, then cash in your bank. They call them liquid assets. That means they are things you have that you can easily, quickly convert to cash. For instance, your savings in the bank is an asset. All right. You can quickly just go and withdraw it. That's cash. Some stocks, some shares you buy of some companies, the next tomorrow, like if it's stocks, I know the market is open from Monday to Friday, but however it works, when you talk about financial assets, that these are assets that you have that you can easily convert to cash. There's some certain things you have that you can't easily convert to cash. Let's go to real assets. Real assets are physical things that have value: land, rental property, equipment, gold. If they can be sold later or they generate income, they are assets. All right. This may not be as fast. Some people I know they have land, and that land they can be looking for buyer for 3 months or 4 months. The nearness to cash is not as quick as financial assets. So that's the difference. You have business assets. Those of you that run businesses here, your inventory, your machines. So, but I want you to think of assets as things that you own that puts money in your pocket. This is fundamental to you understanding how money works. The liability, there are things that you also have, okay, that takes money away from your pocket. All right. There are things you possess that takes money away from you. Can be credit. Credit is taking money away from you because you're paying interest. At the end of the day, you pay back that capital. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at every point in time, you must ensure that the assets you have, they are enough to cover for all your liabilities and even leave for you something to be able to plan your finances very well. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in today for the purpose of this masterclass on equity investing. All right, I won't talk about equity investing. We're just talking about investing that has to do with owning something in. We'll talk about equity, like I said, liquid investments, financial assets. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to zoom in into that. I may not have time to talk about all these assets that go in details, but what I share with one, you can also apply it to other places. All right. Are we following? Are we following? Are we following? Are we following? I hope it's not getting too academic. Are we following? Please let me know if you are following.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So when it gets too academic, please let me know. But I'm just trying to lay a foundation here. Okay. So equity investing talks about owning, all right, owning something in a business or owning something in a company. All right. So when we talk about equity investment or liquid assets, these are investing that you make that they can easily be converted to cash. But this investment can also grow the value of your money. So talk about stocks and shares. When we talk about stocks and shares, I'll zoom in on that. This is only a slide of a company, like a pie of a cake. Then there's bonds. Bonds are, when people hear about government bonds, you're actually borrowing government money. Some people here, you're actually borrowing government money. It's your money that the government is using to build roads, build schools. Why government generates funds on taxes, but they also generate funds a lot through what they call bond offers. All right. Then treasury bills, similar to bonds, except that's for a shorter period. And sometimes is issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria, that's within the context of Nigeria. But it's government that is calling for you to borrow them money to pay you interest. Commercial papers are similar to treasury bills and bonds. The difference is that these are you're lending to big companies like Dangote Refinery, Dangote Cement. Sometimes Dangote does not want to go to the bank to borrow money. It comes to the public and offers what they call commercial papers. So that commercial paper, it promises to pay you a particular interest at a particular time. So that's how that works. Then we have cryptocurrencies, that digital currencies or coins backed by a community of users, Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right. So Like I said, there are different asset classes. You have financial assets, you have real assets, you have business assets, you have the skill assets. I'm just zooming in on one, or just get the principle you can also apply to others. And in these financial assets, I'll just zoom in on one, which is stock investing. Everything I share here, get a principle you can also apply to other areas. But the goal, let me pause to refresh again, especially for those that did not join. All right. This is a special money masterclass, especially intended for people in relationship. All right. Whether you are dating someone or you have graduated to the state of courtship, like marriage is not in view, or you are married. And like I said before, I encourage you, invite your boyfriend, invite your girlfriend, invite your husband, invite your wife to join, because part of the reasons why there's so much stress in marriages, part of the reasons, a major reason, okay, is because of misalignment when it comes to money, misalignment when it comes to finances. All right. All right. You know, when it comes to dating culture, there's a lot of things that are priorities to people. They don't pay attention. Sometimes your partner is an overspender, you're not paying attention. Sometimes your partner does not really understand you, or she understand, or all he understands that any money we receive, any gift we receive, should be spent on things that on liabilities rather than assets. So that's why I spend time talking about assets and liabilities. You must understand that what are assets? What are things that represents assets? What are things that I put my money on that can also reproduce or grow my money? All right. So that's why you see we were sharing a lot of, just as a way of laying foundation, we're sharing on a lot of stuff that categorize as assets. Okay. We listed them here. Financial asset, real asset, business assets, skills. I'm just trying to just recap a bit for those that are just joining. Okay. All right. So understanding the difference between asset and liability is so foundational. So at every point in time you are spending money, you must understand that with the bulk of my expenses, the bulk of my money that goes in, the bulk of the money that leaves my pocket in a month, is it going towards something that will reproduce money for me, or is it going towards something that I will not always get a return from it? Okay. So the goal is that there are things in life that you always spend money that would take that you, for instance, you spend money on food. Food does not grow money for you, but it keeps your energy. But at every point in time, you must ensure that your assets, you are able to cover for your liabilities. All right. And you have enough to be able to what plan for your future. All right. So that is why we are having this. So I'm zooming in into equity investing today, what we call liquid assets, assets that can easily be converted to cash. But the principle I'm sharing, there are things that you can apply, all right, to other areas of when it comes to investing. Okay, I hope that's clear. But let's talk about stock investing. When you hear the word stocks or shares, all right, I'm going to share. I don't know if I have it in this. Good, I have it in this slide. When you hear about stocks or shares, like what one thing I would try to do as Sabi investors strive and even at Finance is that we believe that if you cannot explain it to a 5-year-old, all right, you don't really understand it yourself. So one of our guiding philosophies when we teach at the Sabi Investors Tribe is that we try to break it down as though we are talking to a 5-year-old. So the point is, when you come across financial concepts, when you come across some of all this money terminology, okay, the most important thing is, do you understand, all right, what you are hearing? Okay. Okay, so I will take a pause here just for a minute. I just want to ask a question. Just reply me on the chat box. I want to know how many of you are actively invested in the stock market. That means you have shares of companies. If you do, say yes. If you don't, say no. I just want to have a feel of so I know how to zoom in some stuff. So if we have more investors here, I know things to hammer on. If we have less, okay, good. Just I'm waiting for a response. I just got one for about 5 or 6, I'll be fine. If you are invested, yeah, so you have shares. Okay, there's a no, there's a yes. Elizabeth says no. Irene says yes. Gifted says no. Marilyn says yes. And let me just get to this balance now. Okay. I know some of you, you are not, just type for me. Let me see. Type for me. Good evening, everybody. I welcome you. What's power? This is new. Okay. All right. No, no. Okay. Okay. Have a lot of okay, great. That's good. All right. So stock investing, when you hear the word stocks, it's not something to be scared about. It's something that you just need to understand. It simply means owning a piece of the pie of companies. It shares. That's how you see this pie stuff that you see on my screen. Um, when you now start investing in companies, you are getting a slice of it. So, for instance, if you have stocks of First Bank, for instance, what it means is that you have shares, all right, in it. Like you have a share, so you can really technically actually tell people that you are part of the owners of First Bank. Is the truth, even if it's just 10,000 naira worth of shares you bought, you can wear suit, all right, and tie and tell people that I am part of the owners of First Bank. That's the truth. That's one of the beautiful things about stock investing. All right. If you look at my screen, I hope you can see it very well. If you look at my screen, okay. If you look at my screen, let me be sure that you are following. How many individuals can you see on my screen?
Three.
Three. Okay, good. Fine. All right. All right. So these are the these are the what we call the men. They are the men of the Nigerian money. We have Femi Otedola, who is a billionaire in dollars. We have Tony Lumelu, who is now a billionaire in dollars. And we have Jim Movia, who is also a billionaire in dollars. The truth is, I put something here. There is no billionaire in any part of the world whose wealth is not significantly from the shares, from the shares, either from a business they own or a business they invest in. Some of you have been following the news. I hope you are aware that Femi Otedola is the biggest shareholder in First Bank. As a matter of fact, First Bank is one stock that did amazing, really amazing. I mean, they did almost 100% within I think about 2 months. So that's if you put 100,000 in First Bank, you have gotten 200,000. Like that's because Femi Otedola did something crazy. He has a power plant called Geru Power. He sold it for, if I'm not mistaken, is it 720 billion? I'm not quite sure of that number, but thereabouts. He withdrew the money from that, divested his stock in one place, and invested almost significant chunk of it into First Bank. All right. See these guys, see Tony Lumelu, UBA, see Jimovi has in it. Beyond just, and not just bank. This Femi Otedola now, he has stakes in, of course, some of you know he has stakes in the oil and gas. He has stakes in so many diverse. But essentially, what you do is, even if when you are investing in a business, even if you are investing in a business, that's almost similar to like stock investing or having shares of a business. The point I'm trying to go to, there is no wealth in this world that only comes from salary. All right. There are just a few individuals in the world that earn $1,000,000. There's no individual in the world that earns $1 billion. Nobody. But there are a few, just bank CEOs and some CEOs of big companies. But for significant wealth to be produced, it has to come from equity investing. Not even real estate is good, but I'm telling you, the orga pata of it all, permit me to use that language, is equity investing. So even if you're a beginner to stock investing, all right, it's something that you should pay attention to. And if you've been investing in stock, you need to go back to your portfolio, look at your portfolio very well, and how can you align and position it for some significant generational wealth. So if you look at these three individuals, like I said before, there is no, just give me the name of any billionaire that is not investing in stock. He's not a significant billionaire. There is no billionaire that either shares they own in their own company or investing in other companies. All of them you are seeing here, they have shares in their own company. They also invest in other companies too. They are not majority shareholders. Okay. So for those beginning, even those that are investing, just understand these four things I want to share. Number one, when it comes to stock investing, that's investing in shares of companies that are listed, what we call they are listed on the stock exchange market. Stock exchange market is the place where, just like we have a normal markets where you go and buy stuff, you have a Alaba market, you have You have different markets across the world, across Nigeria. You can go and buy fish, buy clothes, buy whatever. That's how we have the stock market too. So the exchange market, Nigeria's for Nigeria, the Nigerian exchange market is where you can buy stocks. So, but you must understand the basics. Stock investing simply means investing in companies that are public. You own a share of the company. When the company makes profit, you get a return. When the value of the company goes up, you also benefit. Okay. All right. So you must understand number two, how to pick the right stock. Please let me state this here. Listen to everything I want to share. Don't just listen to a part and run away from the call. All right, because stock investing that I'm zooming in, it's one of the riskiest form of investing, but it's one of the most rewarding form of investing. But if you do it right, it's very rewarding. But if you do it wrong, your 1 million naira can become 0 naira. If you do it where your 1 million naira can become 10 million. So you don't have to enter with the mind of a gambler, but you need to have understanding. That's why I see the first point here is understand the basics. Then number two, you must understand how to pick the right stock. And number three, you must understand risk. Good. Investing is all about taking calculated risk. This is one thing that I've observed, especially in clients' money. Some of them, they get so excited about the return that they don't pay attention to the risk. Okay. So you must understand risk management. Okay. Ask yourself, how much can I afford to lose? Especially for the married people here. School fees money kept somewhere. I used to pay your child's next term school fees. All right, you just heard everything I was sharing. You carried 100% of that money. I want to go and put it in particular stocks, but they told you that First Bank is going to increase in value. And now, First Bank, now there's something that happened. Now they have now lost over 100%. Your 100,000 is now 20,000. You're now going to be blaming the financial planner or the financial coach or the person that was sharing with you. But you didn't listen when he was telling you about risk. So that's why sometimes when we share with people, we tell them about risk management. Risk management is very, very significant and very important to your investment journey. Then number four, invest consistently, especially to those who are already investing. Small amounts compound into wealth. Do you know that if you invest 50,000 naira consistently for 5 years at an annual return of 12%, it would compound to 4.1 million as against 3 million naira if it wasn't compounding. This is one of the greatest secrets of investing. Consistency beats other tactics over time. Someone that invests 50,000, no matter how the market is behaving, whether the market is increasing in value or reducing in value. Somebody that just does 1 million naira January and does 1 million naira again in December. You can't compare both of them. The person that invests consistently, and that's why one of the greatest investors is Benjamin Franklin said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Warren Buffett or Benjamin Franklin, I can't remember who made that quote, because of the consistency. So even if the return on that investment, whether it's stock investing, is bonds, commercial paper, you're investing with a company that's promising you a return at a particular period, consistently over time, you compound wealth, all right, with that kind of investing. Okay. All right. So, but why do most Nigerians struggle with investing? All right. I'm wrapping up my what I'm sharing now. Okay. Why do most Nigerians struggle with investing? Number one, the fear of losing money. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Somebody losing me? Okay, you can hear me. All right, good. Thank you. Thank you. Why do most Nigerians, yeah, why do most Nigerians struggle? Please, if you're just joining, just mute your mic so that I can limit feedbacks. I don't know if somebody can help me to check who that person is, but getting that feedback is very distracting. Why most Nigerians struggle with investing? Fear of losing money. Oh, as I see sometimes the first question they ask you is they've got their fingers burnt. Some of them, some people are Ponzi minded. You just want an investment that will just double your something in the next 1 month. If it's a 12% per annum, no, we are not interested. And I just shared it to you just now about consistent investing, what it does. But it's something that we also people have had their fingers burnt, different kind of stuff. So because of that, anytime you don't talk about investing, they just zone out. Then, of course, the other point is not knowing which investments are right. All right, and many of you here really don't understand what you've been hearing about investing. That's why you're having on this call just to get knowledge, but really don't know which one is right for you. All right, we're in the right place. Then some are they've fallen for scams many times. They've fallen for scams many times, and there they are very, 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 very skeptical about investing. Then some confusing jargons. They hear about bulls, they hear about beers, they hear about IPOs, they hear about some of all this stuff. And you know that sometimes when you watch the news and gets to that point, they're talking about financial news. That's where credible information are going. But some people tune out because they start hearing the beers and the bulls, these basis points. This is the drop, this is the base, this is the rally, this is the right, and so those things could be very confusing. So sometimes that has made people lose enthusiasm a lot. But like I always say, what you need is proper guidance because there is no significant wealth you want to make in this life without some kind of serious intentional steps towards investing. All right. Let me just give you a snapshot of the Nigerian capital market. So some of you understand that somewhere you are missing out on some certain things. Do you know that if you invested 100,000 in the following stocks as of January 2025 last year, this will be the return? I just some stocks are here. This is just I don't want to put 1st of January. But like I said before, you have to be careful so you don't be drawn by the returns. Understand how this thing works. Better Glass, Honeywell, GT Bank, Zenith Bank, Presco. Some of them have done 100, 200, 300%. All right. And some of them have been doing more. All right. And you know what? The Nigerian capital market has returned more than 100% since 2020. Very, very impressive. And less than 4% of Nigerians are still actively involved in it. And the reason why less than 4% of Nigerians are actively involved is because of low or poor understanding. When you hear names like Dangote, Tonilumelu, some of them I named just now, all of them are product of equity investing. I wish I had put Elon Musk. I wish I had put his image here. I want to show you something. Elon Musk, when I checked some days ago, Elon Musk is worth about $850 billion. 850. That's the there's no man on earth, all right, that has made that much money. And he gave himself a goal of $1 trillion before the year ends. The next person to Elon Musk is about 200 and something. The gap is more than $600 billion. All right. Elon Musk wealth at the moment can take care of Nigeria's budget. All right. It can take care of Nigeria's budget for how many years now? All right. So just one man can feed the entirety of Nigerians. But that wouldn't have been possible if it's not his stocks in Tesla and some of his stocks in some of his companies. It's Tesla, essentially at the moment, that's making him that significant kind of wealth. That's equity investing. All right, so that's why I say just sharing all these things with you for you to just pay attention. So why many Nigerians have been waiting in the Nigerian economy, intelligent investors are actually cashing out, and that's the truth. It's not too late, you can start today. Investing in the capital market involves buying shares of companies listed on the NGS, which is like a marketplace for buying and selling stocks of companies. When you buy shares of a company, you are a co-owner. So how do you benefit from investing in stocks? You benefit, number one, capital appreciation. Capital appreciation means, oh, you bought this stock today, 20 naira, it appreciates in value, it's now 14 naira or 16 naira. So that means you have gained about 14 naira. That's I think 200%. Then there's dividend payment. Some companies at the end of the year or at the end of a given period, apart from the capital appreciation that happens, they pay you dividend, guys. They pay you from the profit that they make. If they make loss, they don't share. Some share, some don't share. They will call rights issue. So sometimes some companies are raising additional funds. So sometimes, because I'm an existing investor, they can give you at a discounted price. So for instance, maybe they are raising $1 billion and they are saying, okay, to our existing investors, we are giving you, if the share price is 1.3, they'll give you at 1.2, while the public will buy at 1.3. So then there's voting rights and decision making. If you saw some of my picture here, I was invited by one of the biggest agricultural firm. Okay, you can find it. I don't know if I'm moving around, you can see it. It's somewhere, Presco, you can see it there. And some other companies that are also they invite for voting, right? So you can go and be voting who is going to be the CEO of this company, who is going to be the chairman board of directors. So sometimes when they invite you to the big table, big table where you see where real conversations are had, right? So those are very, very important and significant importance of investing in the capital market. Okay. All right. I think I'll stop here for tonight. Let me just allow for question and answer, but don't drop out yet. I have an offer for some people who like guidance too. But let me answer your question first before. Like if you're listening to me on this call, you need guidance on how to navigate the market, how it works, and some of all those things. You want to hold your hands. All right. I'll tell you something, but before I do so, let me just receive questions and answer and see how I can respond. Maybe two or three before we move on. Just a few minutes before we end this presentation today. So based on what I've been sharing, is anyone who just want to ask a question, something is not clear, something you need clarity, or you made an investment, or you need to track something, just ask. Essentially, like I said before, this is just dedicated to relationships and everything. I hope you've invited your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, and girlfriend. Very important too, so that all of you will learn together, not just that one person is hearing something. Okay. All right. So I'm waiting. Nobody has any question? Treasury bills. Okay. How do you go about treasury bills? Okay. All right. Treasury bills, like I said, is similar to bonds offer. They are short-term. They are short-term loan. All right. They are short-term investment opportunity offered by the Central Bank of Nigeria. So what the Central Bank does is some of those money they get from treasury bills, they use it to, they call it a money market fund. They use to settle some certain things within government. So when you see a treasury bill, it is the government saying, please lend us money and we'll pay you so and so interest. So you have it for 90 days, 270 days, and 364 days. So if you want to invest in treasury bills, you have to go through a broker. All right, I didn't talk about brokers now because of time. But brokers are people, they are registered agents that help you to be able to invest your funds in some of these companies or even invest in some of these government opportunities. So treasury bills is like government inviting you or begging you to borrow them money and they will pay you in a short-term period. But it's usually advisable for people that have very, very large capital. So like 100 million, 50 million. Those that have low capital, like 100,000, 200,000. I personally don't advise treasuries, but if you are comfortable with it, it's fine. So I think the return is around 18%, 19% per annum, like per year. Per year you get 18%, you get 19%. Is the return is low because the risk is low. All right. So if you're interested in treasury bills, you just need to maybe down, you can either walk into any of the brokers. You have different brokers. You have Stanbic IBTC brokers. You have Afri Investor. You have Bamboo. You have Chapel Hill, the name. You have many of them. You can just go brokers in Nigeria. Some of them have apps. Some of them have digital platforms. All right. So I hope that helps. Then we have this question come. Gifted says, do I need a particular amount to start investing? I can start. Good. This is a very good question. Yeah. I think I was going to talk on fractional investing. One of the barriers that people have had to invest in is the fact that they need to have a certain sum before they can invest. Why I agree that the larger your sum, the larger your return. But for us, like we've always shared that the Sabi investors try. Investing is more of the habit, all right, than the task. Like you need to build a habit of investing. Like when you receive an income or money comes to you, one of the advantages, even if it's funny enough, do you know that? Oh, do you know there are some stocks and they are just I don't think there are more than three stocks on the Nigerian capital market. Maybe let's just say 10. They are about 150 How I'm getting my numbers correct. There are about 150 companies listed on the Nigerian stock market that you can buy shares from. About 150 to 200. I'm not quite sure. Only about 10 of them have their share price per unit above 1,000. The rest are less than 1,000. GT Bank at 19 naira, Zenith Bank 18 naira, some of them 6 naira. So that means with 1,000, you can buy some companies about 10 units, 5,000, 10,000. But the point I'm trying to go to is the fact that is the habit you build consistently putting 20,000, 30,000, 20,000, 20,000, investing, all right? Investing. In my organization, there are some of our clients that are very consistent, that over a period of time, the top of their investment, they invest very consistently. And that's how it works. That's the philosophy of investment. It's not the amount, it's not necessarily the size, but it's the habit. And you are training yourself. And because of time, I won't be able to share this. The thing is that you are training yourself to be able to understand how money and business operates. That's one of the benefits I've seen with stock investing because you understand companies, you understand how they operate, you understand how they do their stuff. So the answer to your question means that good. Yes, every time you receive your monthly salary, even if your salary is 10,000, is 1,000 you're putting in investing. It's the habit that is more important than the amount. Yeah, yes. Now this one says, what is the end goal of stock investing? Is it just to keep buying stock and growing the portfolio for years till the company blows? Okay, yeah. So it's what we call investment objective. Before you invest, everybody needs to have an investment objective. Your investment objective says, why am I investing? What is the purpose for my investing? Different people have different reasons why they invest, different purpose, different reasons why they invest. All right. For some people, they could be investing because they have a goal. Maybe they are looking for money. They are trying to raise funds for to start a business. They're trying to raise funds to start a family, start a home, start a marriage, whatever it is. But everyone must have an investment objective is personal. All right. People that were in Buffett, he just keeps investing, doesn't touch his investment. Sometimes he's investing in the company for like 20 to 30 years. All right. His own objective is personal. Some of them just want to keep control over that company and just be getting dividends. So for investment objective, it depends on you. Sometimes the money, like recently we had one of our clients, which was investing in the capital marketing. One of our students, not client, one of our students at the Sabi Investors, our premium tribe. So she had our goal was for our money to just be times two. Even if the company was not doing times five, as it was just times two, she pulled out the our main capital and left the interest to be given return. So everybody has his own investment objective. It could be that, oh, my investment gets to a particular stage. I want to use to build a house. I want to use to start a business. But at every point in time, you must establish. Some people's investing could be raise a larger capital then to put that larger capital into something. So investment objective is different. So the end goal of stock investing or any kind of investing is personal. What would you like to achieve? Of course, at the basics, you should want to grow your wealth. You should want to be able to at least have funds somewhere to be able to take care of some major projects that you have in. So it's personal, but it's good that everybody establishes investment objective. Okay. I think let me just take it. So what are the things one needs to look out for in a company before buying stocks or shares from them? Yeah. Yeah, very good question. So when investing in stocks of companies, are the fundamentals. One of the things you need to look at is what does this company do? All right. How does this company make its money? What does this company do? So, for instance, I'm investing in First Bank or GT Bank or Zenith Bank. Question one: what does Zenith Bank do? Zenith Bank is a financial institution that offers financial services to people. It offers retail banking, it offers credit, it offers different investment banking, it offers many things. How does any bank make its money? It makes its money from commission, it makes its money from interest, it makes its money from this. All right. What are the prospects of Zenith Bank? So these are some certain questions. There's a fundamental analysis. All right. These are the basics you need to know. A company must have what it does. It must have, whether it's online or on-site, but it must have how it generates money. All right. Then Number two is what they call technical analysis. You're now beginning to look at the historical performances of this company. How has this company fared over time? Have they been profitable? And some of the things that you check. Then number three, you now begin to look at what they call sentimental analysis. How do people respond to this company based on their results over time? So these are the things that you look at for in a company. Although, like I said before, I want to be able to get into details. First, we have a community where you can learn this, settle down, and do this. But this is just because of time, we have just little time. I have to just try and rush some certain things. Okay, so about the basics, that's how you invest in a company. These are the things to look at in a company. What does it do? How does it make its money? How profitable it is? What has been historical performances and so on stuff. The how to invest in stock. All right, to invest in stock, number one, like I said, I think I shared that in my slide. Number one, understand the basics. Number two, you pick the right stocks. Number three, understand risk. Number four, then, of course, once you have identified, you've understood the basis of you understand picking the right stocks, you have identified, okay, this is a company I want to invest in. Number two is to look for a broker. A broker, like I said before, they are agents that have been licensed by the government to be able to receive your cash to invest in the capital market. And we have a lot of them. You have Bamboo, you have Afro Investor, you have all of them. So you get a brokerage account, you open an account, they'll give you what they call CSCS account number or CHN. Then from there, you can now begin to, either from their app or walking into their store, you'll be able to now invest in some of all these companies that we have. Okay. All right. So I'm not getting any question again. Like I said before, for those that have remained, I have an offer for you. This is just for those that are just interested. You may be asking what next. Like you heard our presentation today, some of you have made a decision that, okay, even if I don't have 1 million naira to invest, I just want to start that habit of investing. Okay. I've shared with you some struggles that beginners face, why people struggle with investing, mainly ignorance and lack of knowledge. I've shown you opportunity in the Nigerian capital market. You've seen a simple roadmap. Now, the real question is, do you want to do this alone or you need guidance? So it's the opportunity for guidance that I want to offer you today, okay? Because some things you really need, there are some certain things you never understand except you're guided. And that's why we exist as a finance community, okay? Let me just share with you over the years some of testimonials that I've gotten just to encourage you. This one says, good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for your help as regards investment. This is my first time into it, and I am hopeful it will work. I think that time this person bought Okomoe, and Okomoe was less than 1,000, was just less than 700. But check Okomoe now. All right, so it's just guidance. Coach, for material, someone says, hey, somebody said, do not blow like this. All right, then this one says coach of rights. I don't think this is presenting well since they've been listed in international market. Let's keep it going. I think I'll share with them about GT Bank. Okay. So many, I don't know if I have time to read this. Good morning, sir. I want to wish you a happy new month and also this opportunity. I appreciate you for your shared via the Sabi investment community. Joining the community has been one of the best decisions I've made this year. It has really impacted my financial journey. I'm able to go through investment platforms and understand the things I see in order to make the most informed decisions. I couldn't be more grateful. Thank you so much. All right, this one says, I previously purchased an investment course, but I couldn't make informed decisions to take this. Since I joined the community, I've become better armed because all of your teachings are easy to understand and work with. Thank you so much. Looking forward to learning so much from the community. Let's build wealth together. This was a lot. All right, so I want to invite you to be part of the survey. This is not for everybody. You know, sometimes when you just get to this part, everybody just tune up. Like I said, it's just you. You know this. You know how you want to go this year. You know the decision you want to make. You know what you want to do. You know the sacrifices you need to pay. So if you think that this is a year that you need to be serious with when it comes to investing, why not jump at this offer? All right. So I'll just a few persons. I want to give you access to high promising stocks accommodation. You get to be a part of a community of active and professional investors who are ready to guide you. We assist you with proper risk assessment so you know what you should be investing in. You get to have a one-on-one live call with me alongside other community members and ask any question you may have directly to me. access to profitable investment deals, and helpful resources to help you in your investment journey, and many more to get you started. So this is what we do. There is a Sabi Investor Strat. This was a general, which I think every one of you came part of, but we have a premium exclusive. The reason why it's exclusive, let me tell you, explain to you why. Why? Why sometimes in a year, sometimes I pay hundreds of thousands just to be in some certain communities because financial freedom runs on information. I wish you could write down somewhere. Financial freedom runs on. There are information that are empty. Let me tell you, some of you that are struggling financially is because of saying things you don't know. There are information flying around you, just waiting for you to be able to push into some certain communities. But the thing is that you won't find them on the ground. You have to dig. And so sometimes that's why you have to make some sacrifices. You have to make some sacrifices. All right. Okay. So I need 10 persons who are interested. I think it's just 10 persons, maybe less than, because I don't want a large community, small group of great minds, so I can monitor each community member well. If you want to be part of it, Sabi Investing Strat means it's 30,000. But for today, Valentine's special, I'll be discounting it to 20,500 for the first 10 persons who register now or within 48 hours. Thereafter, it goes back to the engineer fee of 30,000. All right. So the account details are here. Maybe you can screenshot or you have it. All right. Global's bank is the account number here. I don't think the account number is okay. All right. I think we'll find the account number somewhere. I think the account number is okay. So drop. I don't want to drop it in the group. We look for a way to put the account number. Somehow it was omitted here. Okay, but if you are interested, just send a DM. Send a DM to this is our business WhatsApp number 07017861761. As if you're interested in somehow the account number is made. But once it's 10, complete 10, it has stopped. You can't hear me? Okay. Can you hear me now? Should. Please, can you hear me? My voice has gone out. Is it network? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. It's my network. Hello, can you hear me? Apparently, nobody can hear. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you can hear me. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. So, like I said before, just opportunity to guide for those interested. This is not to everybody, just those that have said that this year I want to be serious with my investment decision. I know I need guidance. I've had my fingers burnt. I want to learn something different. Okay. All right. So this is just for you. All right. Take advantage of it. You can screenshot, you can send it. Once it's 10, the next people that come after that 10 have to pay 30,000. Okay. I think this is all I have for tonight. I hope you got something from what we shared. Let me just use 1 minute for those that joined in late to talk about asset investing. First of all, began by saying one of the reasons why there's relationship stress, one of the reasons for divorce, one of the reasons for marital issues is because of poor financial management. Financial management goes beyond investing, but understanding some certain things. Number one, how to spend money. I think that's the foundation of everything that has to do with money. All right. It's not even how to earn money that is most important, it's how to spend money. Because if you don't know how to spend money, you're going to struggle a lot. If you're an overspender, you're going to have issues. And that's why you see there are issues. We don't understand how to set budget, set priorities, save and invest. So that is why I'm sharing. And like I said before, one of the most important things to understand is understand the difference between assets and liabilities at all times. You need to know the difference between the two. All right, so I think I'll call it a night. Thank you for joining tonight. I know people had some network issues. All right, so if you want to join our Sabi Investors Premium Tribe, just take the account number, the phone number there, then we'll share with you the account number when you send the DM. All right, have a wonderful night rest. See you when we have another free masterclass. I think it will be very beneficial to you. Have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, yeah. I think let me look for the account number and just put there. Okay. So once it's 10, so person is already messaging. Once it's 10, you stop. All right, good night. Have a wonderful night, rest. Thank you so much. I think let me just go to the names and appreciate you. Let me see the names. Can I see the names? Elizabeth, thank you. Marilyn, thank you. Gifted, thank you. Irene, thank you. Majesty, Kanu, thank you. Matthew, thank you. Okoloa for Sonia, thank you. Peter, thank you. Have a wonderful night. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So send a message if you're interested. The phone number is there on the screen. Just send a message. Then we'll let you have it. Good night and have a wonderful